Hello YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives. I'm out here, I'm an advanced product tester for Schrade. This is the Schrade SCAXE 5. As you can see, extreme conditions. I just finished filming the testing footage. I went through 2 pairs of gloves. I'm gloveless now. This is a survival hatchet, about 13.5 inches in total length. This is SK5, carbon, steel, full tang construction, one solid piece of metal. Pry bar on the pommel. Alright, look at that wicked hatchet. Let's go to the testing footage. I think you're gonna like it. Earning my pay today. Alright, and I'm sorry for the camera angle, but there's snow all around here. This is the best angle I can get. There you go. Alright, I'm going to show you how this pry bar works. I have the pry bar wedged into a nail right here. Go. Alright, and that was hard to get on camera, but I did pull the nail out. The nail actually broke. This is the piece of the nail. I don't know how well you can see this, but I pried that out with the pry bar pommel. Alright, and I just pried this loose. I'm going to show how this bites in. Let's test out the spike. The spike is in so deep, it'll take me a minute to get it out. Wow, completely insane conditions out here. Literal blizzard. All right, well, I got to get inside because literally can't feel my hands anymore, obviously. These are covered in ice and the SCAXE 5 survival hatchet. We're surviving today. Inside where it is warm. All right, so let's analyze this new design. Hope you enjoyed that outdoor footage. All right, but first, let's just take a look at the sheath. Heavy-duty nylon construction. All right, 3-button closures here. All right, and you have a belt loop arrangement there. All right, and deployment, like so. And there you go. So that is the sheath that you get. Now let's go over the basics of this design. The edge length, 3 1/2 inches. The overall length from the farthest point, meaning the end here, right, to that point right there, 13 1/2 inches. This is SK5 high carbon steel, and it is full tank construction. It is one solid piece of metal, and then they have these handle scales, right, which are nylon fiber. I have to say the shape of this handle is excellent. You see how it has a palm swell there, narrows, right, and then swells there. There's 2 ways you can grip it. You can grip it up here, very balanced, very agile, gripping up here. All right, and this flare right here allows a very comfortable grip down here. This is your maximum power chopping hand position. Now, as far as the performance of this item, you saw it had a hard time going through that pallet. I don't think people realize how small and how light this is, because usually, to me, the pallet is simulating like wood beams that would be interior walls of the house, or a wooden door, things like that. And I don't think people realize, usually when going through something like that, you would use something much, much bigger. Okay, if I'm going to have to go through a wooden door or something, I'm going to use what they call basically a fireman's hatchet, okay? These items right here, these are fireman's hatchet. You see how much smaller, right, this is than a fireman's hatchet. This is actually the size of a SOG Fast Hawk, all right? A $12 hawk, the SOG Fast Hawk, extremely light. This hatchet is actually around the same length as a Fast Hawk. Okay, so to me, it's pretty amazing that it got through those pallets at all when you consider this is an item the size of a Fast Hawk. This is an item that's like 3 times as small and light as, the proper tool for going through obstacles like that. So, yeah, I mean, for its size, it did well. I mean, the whole idea of an emergency hatchet like this, you could carry this and use this in places like, for example, let's say you're in a car accident and you're having to chop your way through, I don't know, your windshield or something. You're not even going to have room. You're not even going to have room to swing something like this, okay? So this is for cramped quarters, crisis conditions. Yeah, so that might help you understand, well, why would you use something this small to do that? Well, it's for situations where that's all you have, that's all you can carry. Maybe you can't even get a full swing. Maybe you're just arming it. So that's the idea of the survival hatchet. I like how this is several tools in one. Obviously, the chopping edge, right? But then you have the nail puller pry bar. Nice little pry bar, and like I said, you can get pretty good leverage holding it right there. And then the back spike. This thing just completely buried itself in wood. So this is great for just going through wood. Would also be a good, what they call, the zombie eventuality. Now I have to say, if you're interested in using this against cinder blocks, this is fairly pointed. I would recommend, if you want to use this against cinder blocks instead of breaking down wood, to round this off a little bit. You probably remember my review of the SCAXE 4. This thing destroyed cinder blocks. This thing absolutely destroyed cinder blocks. This is more rounded, and I've actually rounded it off a little more to make it even stronger, right? But yeah, this back spike is more pointed than that one. So if you want to hit cinder blocks, round it off. And while it's here, another size comparison, just because I don't think people realize how small this is. This is the SCAXE 5, this is SCAXE 4. So you see, you know, different tools for different tasks. This is a full-size hawk. This is meant to fit into small, like, car trunk survival kits and things like that. One improvement I think would be really cool is if they put a raised, textured surface around here. All right, for example, like you see on my rig builder hatchet, if they could put a surface like this, like if they could take that, right, and kind of put a surface like that, you know, for a hammer onto the side right there, I think that would make it even more useful, because then you'd have a built-in hammer. Like, as you can see, a lot of hawks do put a little surface like that, and that is for using it as a hammer. You see on this Walther hawk, they have it. It'd be cool if they raised it up a bit. And on the Fast Hawk, they also have a little area like that. So yeah, I think a raised up textured portion right here, because then you'd have, you know, the puller, the pry bar, the spike, the chopping, and a nice little hammer. I have to say, this SCAXE 5 is a big improvement on the SCAXE line for several reasons. Number one, this uses SK5 carbon steel, which I'm very familiar with. I have several knives of that steel that I've beaten up. I definitely prefer carbon steel over cheaper stainless, so that's the first improvement. The second improvement, the full tang construction. You know, some earlier models, SCAXE, you know, the SCAXE 2, it had a completely synthetic handle, and it had a problem in cold weather where the synthetic handle could break. That is not going to happen with the new SCAXE. Not only is it one solid piece of metal, but it's about a 1/4 inch thick. Okay, so that is a huge improvement. These handle scales are nylon fiber, and yeah, you know, a synthetic like that, it could break. If I took this and I hammered it enough times, I could crack those if I wanted to. But the whole point is, it don't matter. I mean, if this were to break, you still got the full tang. I mean, I would just wrap it in paracord and keep going. These cutouts, like this cutout right here, is to make it lighter. Remember, for an emergency, you know, the first thing for an emergency tool is to actually have it with you during an emergency. They wanted to make this as light as possible. It's not going to break though, because like I said, you can see how thick, if you can see how thick this is, 1/4 inch thick of high carbon steel. No, this is the most durable SCAXE model so far. Conclusions on this SCAXE 5. This is something you carry when you really wish you could carry something 3 times the size and weight, but you couldn't. It's a multi-purpose tool, great for emergencies. You know, consider it's the same idea as this Rothko emergency hatchet, but you know, a super, basically like five times the quality, and the price is going to be very reasonable. Overall, I mean, for something that's the size of a SOG Fast Hawk, it really hits above its weight. It's a high value item. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.